Okay, so guess what? I have 2 new intros for the show, so I'll play the first one.
What do you mean you have 2 new intros?
I have 21 bumpers for tonight, so everyone. I got an update to my board. I can do more bumpers now.
I don't like it when you do things without consulting us first, especially with the intro. Why should I take personally?
Well, I just did what you told me.
The intro's the branding.
Yeah, so it better fucking blow me away, dude.
All right.
He used to do a World of Warcraft advice podcast.
No, this is the old one.
He even did the original Drunken podcast, changing the game.
Unless you updated
influencing a generation of podcasters.
Oh, I did.
But he was disgraced, accused of crimes he never committed, shamed, he disappeared.
This one
By the grace and generosity of Mr. Rich Dickman, he was raised again.
Seconded by the best part of the show, Cody.
Rem Dickman has returned, sexier and more handsome.
I couldn't afford Larry's VO again, so.
This is The Rich Dickman Show, the greatest podcast ever produced by Rich Dickman.
Ever produced by Rich Dickman?
Rem.
Cody.
You forgot Randy.
Featuring executive producer Randy, producer Ryan,
There it is.
Maddie from Australia, and
This is very masturbatory.
Cody, this is the old
very.
intro.
The Rich
I know,
Dickman
it's very
Show.
masturbatory.
You're slightly better
That's what
than
statement
mediocre
stands.
podcast.
That's what the joke was.
And then it goes into this.
Oh no! Stop. We're
I know,
guest tonight.
but
God.
You asked for this, man. You wanted new music to talk over. You said this song
When?
last week. It's on the show. I listen back and I do all the stuff you guys tell me to do.
Randy, it's episode 257 of the Rich Dickman Show. Your podcast is slightly better than mediocre. See, I don't know this music. I can't talk over it. I don't know what the rhythm is.
Oh,
I'm trying.
It'll pick up soon.
Okay, so that's the part you got to cut down. Oh, I remember this now.
Okay.
This was after you left, Cody. You had to go pee or something. Yeah. All right. We're not a music show. This is a Rich Dickman Show. Tonight we got Cody here.
Weird.
Randy's here. This is not our normal intro. Randy, you can't do this.
Very
to me.
hot.
Oh, okay.
That's very hot, Fred.
my bad.
God, you know,
You silly fuck.
Randy, we have a guest tonight. Let's just get right into it because he's been hanging around for far too long, waiting for your bullshit to end. When you introduce him?
Oh yes, we went and saw Brad Williams a couple of weekends ago, and this guy opened for him. He's a really funny guy, and it's just so happened that his dad's a gastroenterologist, and you just had the colonoscopy. So did my mother-in-law. So we figured it would be a great time to make poop jokes. So Adam Levine, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you love that intro of ours. But
Yeah,
thank you for
amazing.
coming
Yeah.
in with us to the Rich Dickman Show. We've had all sorts of guests in the past. We've had wrestlers, we've had porn stars, we've had people who talk about Bob Ross. We've had a guy who makes the Bright Sun Films thing. We've had a survivor journalist. We've had a career criminal, but we've never had a comedian. So thank you for gracing us with your royal presence, sir.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can live up. I feel like those people kind of have probably had more interesting lives than a stand-up comedian has, to be honest. But, I'll see what I can do.
I don't know. I don't think you can get into stand-up without having an interesting life.
Yeah, it's a prerequisite.
You would be surprised at the number of boring people doing stand-up.
Are they young?
Yes, but
Okay.
and then they get
shtick to
filtered
be
out
boring.
as they get older.
Yeah.
So you're right on that. But I mean, to be honest, you hear a lot of comedian stories and they'll have crazy childhoods, and I didn't really have, I grew up in the suburbs. Everything broke my way, but I was just a funny guy, and I was like, I think I could do this professionally. And so that was my thing, but nothing, nothing crazy or anything like that, but definitely have met people like that. But I think also, as you do stand up, you just you put yourselves in sort of crazier situations and dealing with clubs and things like that, and just in audiences, it ends up being a more crazy life than maybe I would have had otherwise.
I can imagine. Like, at what point do you realize stand up is the way to go for you? Like, is there something that clicks? Because like I used to work as a janitor at a convalescent home, and I used to just make fun of all the guys I worked with, and they loved it. Right? We just at break time and at lunch, we'd stand around the hallway smoking cigarettes and make fun of each other, and I was the king. But then somebody walked by me and said,
Sounds
you
like
should be
way
a writer.
more racist
Like
than you're letting on.
It's not racist at all, Cody. Jesus Christ. But they'd tell me I should be a writer. And I'm like, I wanted to be a joke teller. And then I never really got into comedy because it wasn't my thing. I just like being mean to people. Anyways, Adam, what I'm trying to ask is why go into stand up instead of some another type of comedy?
Yeah. So I was always like the funny guy in school. And I was always, the thing that I learned early on my comedy as a kid was that if I could make the teachers laugh, then I was not going to get in trouble. Because if they were laughing, it would be hard for them to then be like, okay, now you have a detention. So I could say things. Hour. Yeah. So I could say things. I could be funny in class. I could do sort of funny things, but I was like, if I get the teachers to laugh, I'm going to be fine. And so I sort of always knew like I could get kids to laugh, I could get teachers to laugh, I could get adults to laugh, which I thought as a kid was like I recognized that was like a tough thing to do. And so I had some skill in it. But then I went to college and like was not on my mind. It was just not a career I thought that you could do unless you lived in LA. So sort of like, well, I'll just be the funny guy doing whatever job. And then I had this really boring internship where that literally had no work. It didn't give me any work, which was awesome. But then you sort of realize oh, this is 8 hours. I have to like figure out something to pass. Yeah. So I started listening to stand-up albums and on Spotify, and you sort of go through them. You go through all the big people pretty quick. And by like the second week, I was just discovering people who were not famous, I'd never heard of. And I was like, oh my God, like this is a career you can do and not have to be this like big person in LA and all of that. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to try this out because I knew there was a comedy club or there was like an Ohio State comedy group. So I started going to meetings and did a couple open mics, but still wasn't like 10 toes in. And then as graduation was nearing, I was like, oh, I think I got to try and do this because I know that as I get older, it's harder to do. So I'm just going to do this when I'm young. And so I moved to Chicago and then I just was like, oh, okay, this is great. And I can do this. I just got to be patient. And I think I can make this at least as like, I can be a professional doing this, paying all my bills at some point. Yeah, no, it was literally, this internship was so boring. And so I just listened to stand up all day and I was like, oh, okay,
awesome.
This is cool.
So when you get to Chicago, are you freaked out by their love of their Chicago flag? Because this freaks me out that this city loves this flag so much.
Yes and no. So Chicago, the Chicago flag is, I don't know how they're tracking this. So this is classic Chicago people. They're like, oh, it's the most tattooed thing in the world or in America. And I'm like, oh yeah, because there's really a database of tattoos. But you go there and you're like, yeah, I'm sure. I think they actually are right. But like, I think why they're so into Chicago and the flag, like I do think is cool. But I think the thing is like, how Ohio, there's a lot of Ohio pride.
No.
OH.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. At my shows, like you do a lot of Ohio jokes, and like people are so into it, and they're so happy to have someone from Ohio, and particularly Columbus. Like it's the same thing. It's just when their flag is cool, and it's a big city, and Chicago is just so unlike the rest of Illinois that they almost feel separate. Like it's like Chicago, and then there's Illinois, and so I think they're like, we're not Illinois, we're Chicago, and if you live there, I think you sort of feel it. Whereas like, being in New York City, it has the same name as the state, obviously, but also there's New York City, and it feels like there already is that distinction. But like Chicago is sort of trying to be like, hey, we're not Illinois, we're Chicago.
We have the better pizza.
Yeah, okay. So I do not like deep dish pizza. I definitely like New York pizza is my favorite thing. But what pizza, I do like is I like tavern style pizza.
First of all, yeah, I was just telling Adam this. New Yorkers call pizza pie, so you would be extra confusing if you called a Chicago
this is weird.
dish pie.
What?
You know what I just heard today? That locals in Chicago actually prefer the tavern style thin crust.
It's so much better. Yes, no, that's absolutely true. Deep dish is for tourists. And so when I
was gonna
discovered
say
that,
it seems like a feast thing. Like the usual local probably does something different in the vein of pizza. So go on. It's like what, thin crust, like bar pie.
yeah. So if you've ever had Rubino's in Bexley, it's kind of like that, or Granddad's in Gahanna, for the Columbus listeners. But yeah, it's so good. It's so much better. And like the cheese pops with like the crackly like crust. It's amazing.
Love it. But I had pizza for dinner tonight. This is simulation level shit, man. This is
No, it's not. That's such a mild thing to say. Oh my God, we're living in a simulation. Rem, go take a powder. That was absurd.
What kind of pizza?
You should feel embarrassed for that.
See, Adam's trying to engage me instead of make fun of me, Cody. Adam, thank you for asking.
Yes,
That's called yes and, Cody.
Yeah, I know.
We got a couple. We got a margarita pie, all right, and then we got a half
That's
cheese,
great.
half eggplant. And then they have this thing called the Big
that's
Mac
fine.
pizza, where they put all the elements of a Big Mac, including
No,
sauce.
fuck that immediately.
That's not for me. My kids like it. It's not for me.
Fuck
that's
that
bullshit.
shit immediately when pizza tries to be something it's not. Like, oh, it's a cheeseburger.
It just needs
It's
to
a
be pizza.
breakfast plate. It's a breakfast plate. You can get wild with it. You can do like a buffalo chicken or like, some like Alfredo spinach shit. Like that's totally fine. But when you get like, oh, it's a goddamn like Big Mac, it's like fuck yourself immediately. Sorry. My New Yorker's coming out hard right
Isn't
now.
it weird with pizza where like, you start off as a kid and you eat like cheese or pepperoni, and then as you get older, you're like put on all this like shit, and so your kids are like,
Yeah, your taste buds unfuck themselves.
yeah, and so but then
That's
as
what
a
I'm
kid,
assuming.
but then as you get older, your kids are like, oh, put hamburger stuff on it, and then as you get older, you're like, no, I don't need all that like Big Mac stuff. Just do like mushrooms or eggplant or whatever. And then as you get old, you're like, no, the best pizza pie is a margarita, and it's like the least amount of toppings, and you're like
that's up
circled
there.
back.
You go from exactly. You go from simple to complicated to simple again.
Yeah, it's full circle. I
think
do the
it's a theory of everything.
Salami. I do the salami and margarita. That's a choice for kings. Yeah.
You ever done prosciutto and pear?
Not on a pizza. I've had that on a chicken sandwich.
I reluctantly tried it on a pizza. Hot Drummer Newsbabe's husband was making pizza one night,
Really?
and I tried.
Oh, we're allowed to use that name still?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, I cut it out of the intro.
That's fine. It was not on the show anymore, but it was actually really good. It was. I wouldn't do it again.
Run
was
it by
tasty.
me. How is it done? I got
It was as a white pizza with
like a
the
Bianco.
prosciutto was fried first, like real quick. And then
Okay.
the pear was cooked in the oven with the pizza. So the prosciutto on the pear in the
So
oven.
it was like roasted.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Sorry
right.
about this, Adam. We should be talking about
No,
fun
I
things
love
like
pizza.
comedy.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean,
we love
this is
pizza,
your
though.
this is your core audience. You got to give them the content that they need, the little banter.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a massive audience. It's not that we have a lot of people, but each one individually
They're
is
large.
of mass.
Yeah, we're a large audience.
I think one of them's conjoined, so that's a twofer.
Yep.
So, with your father being a gastroenterologist, I used to work in a GI office, so I'm very familiar with everything. So, and you're a comedian. Is your father a very serious individual who doesn't want you joking about his profession, or do you get right in there like at dinner time when you were younger and just start making the poop jokes?
Oh, I mean, my dad
All
is
comedy is a
probably the
poop
funniest person I know,
Oh, okay.
and he's been all in on this. And like, I think as I've been doing it and having more success, he's like, I'd picked the wrong career. I've never seen him not be serious. Like he'll be like joking. He likes to talk about how like whenever he likes having patience, because then it's a captive audience for him to do his jokes. So that's the type of bedside manner that he does and delivers.
That's how I feel in meetings at work. That's
Yeah,
when my dead parent jokes come out.
yeah, and so like now he's at the point where he mostly does like administrative stuff and is on a lot of meetings, and he'll just like, and as during COVID, we were both home working remotely, and so I'd hear him like, I'd watch him like basically go off mute just to do a joke and then go back on mute, and I'm like, this is his open mic, is these like hospital meetings. So yeah,
That's
no,
great.
he's a funny guy.
Yeah, there's performer. So those of us who are performers. This is not there's not an egotistical thing. But Cody, what I'm saying is, when I have an audience, I can turn on my performer in me at work. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So those of us who have that
This
performer
is
inside of them,
after the 13th or 17th beer.
Third. Those of us who have that performer gene, right? When we have that audience, it's fun. That's why I like Randy on the show. It's the only reason I keep doing it. I like Cody, he's my friend, but Randy is my audience because Cody doesn't like my jokes.
I wouldn't coach.
And the largest patron.
Yeah, that's right.
And
financially.
Yeah.
Anyway, Adams, are you in New York now?
Yes, I'm in New York.
Where in New York are you, if I may be so bold?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, on the border of Williamsburg and Bushwick. If people didn't know there. Yeah, and so when I moved, there's a lot of comedy in Bushwick and Williamsburg and in Brooklyn in general, and so I wanted to be near that. And then I've ended up doing more stuff in the city, sort of in the village and stuff, but too expensive and too small for me to live there. So, but I'm in Brooklyn, but it's nice.
My former best friend used to live in Queens, and Cody is a Long Island guy.
Oh well, it's all part of the Long Island. You know?
Yeah, Queens is on Long Island. A lot of people don't know that, Cody. Especially my mom. My mom doesn't know that.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
When I worked in Queens as like a cartoonist with one of the guys from the old podcast, and my mom thought I wasn't leaving the island, and then she found out Queens was in New York, in New York City, like crime capital of the world, and then freaked out. And I'm like, I've been going to the same job all fucking summer. But yeah, it's weird where like we're like your average Joe or Jane like draws their like mental lines and distinctions in New York City.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, depending on where in Queens you are, it can feel like you're sort of in the city,
Kew
or it can
Gardens.
feel like you're in the suburbs.
No, it was Kew Gardens, yeah, suburb area.
So, what was that?
That was a car.
Oh, sorry. There's a bunch of people do like, big car and motorcycle stuff.
Oh, that shit's happening in my house right here. I got this crazy guy with a truck and been driving up and down the road for like 2.5 hours, making my family crazy.
Wait, so where are you guys all?
I'm in Connecticut. I'm in, and I'll let you guys answer for yourselves.
Oh, I'm in Ohio. I'm an hour from Columbus, roughly.
Yeah.
I'm in Hawaii, hence the shirt.
We're all over the place.
So then, how did you guys all meet?
Oh, that's a long story.
Long story. Okay. I'm sure you get asked this all the time, so I don't want to.
Oh yeah, no. Long story short, Rem used to do a World of Warcraft podcast. I used to play World of Warcraft. That podcast he quit after 114 episodes because his host accused him of being in love with him.
Yeah,
with her?
With her, yeah. But what's the most important part of that podcast? Randy.
Oh, Randy, he told me to take a walk once and it helped turn around some depression. Yeah. So, long story short, like I kept following him. He came back, started doing the Rich Dickman Show with another host. And then that host had to leave because he joined ISIS. And then we had another host who's redacted and who had to leave because of a promotion within
HR.
HR thing. So then, he didn't have anyone left. So he was like, "Hey, Randy, come in here." And I was like, "All right." And then, Cody, we picked him up on the cheap. He's the best part of the show. And that's kind of how we all got together.
Nice.
Yeah, Cody edited Sharknado.
You keep getting this very much wrong. And I have to kick you in the shins. You probably like this, don't you? You sick fuck. It was Sharknado 3, and it was the promotional material. It was not the actual film. Go fuck yourself.
You did a great job.
Yeah, it was great. I watched those commercials.
Yeah, Adam, if you need somebody to cut a comedy special for you, reach out to Cody. He's fantastic.
Okay, good to know.
I will headbutt you later.
What your first stand-up gig? The very first one, you get up there. Is it an open mic type of deal? Like how does that come about? And what was it like? Did you get him to laugh, or was it? Not
so the first thing I did was an open mic. So the president of the Ohio State Stand-Up Club was cousins with one of my housemates. So I had expressed interest, and he was like, "I'll take you. Like we'll go. It'll be great. Like whatever." And it was this bar, sort of off campus in the basement. So you get 5 minutes. I probably did 2 to 3 minutes, and I probably had one punchline. Don't even remember what it was. I have no. I wish I actually was trying to look the other day to try to see if I could find a picture of it, but I don't even remember what jokes I told, all that. But so it was open mics like that for a while. First like show I ever did was in the basement of a Donato's, another pizza reference.
Oh yeah, I just had their pizza.
Yeah, that's they're kind of tavern style.
Simulation.
So they had a spot on campus, so they did like a college show. So that was like the first show I ever did. But then when I moved to Chicago, like when I was starting out, the first shows that I would get were these like weird variety shows before I sort of broke into some of the clubs and some of the better like bar shows and stuff. And so these variety shows where it was like some people would be doing like improv or two-prov, which is two-person improv, and then there'd be like a drag performer who they were always like rougher than all the stand-up comics because like there's not as many drag open mics or whatever. And so there was just these like weird shows and like places that weren't very, heavily attended. And then you sort of work your way up and started doing better shows and got into some of the clubs. But yeah, it was in the beginning. It's hard because you're just trying to figure out your voice, but also like, how do I get these other people to like me?
So I was just thinking about a stand-up I was at many years ago at the Brouhaha in Hartford at the City Steams Tavern, and down in the basement. And one of the guys who opened up for the main comedian, I don't remember anybody's name, but he had this weird presence about him where he kept moving, but in an interesting, in a sort of way that made you pay attention. The way he was moving, like just like
what was he doing?
Jerking, turning. It's like a jerking, like type of. What I'm trying to get at,
what is he like?
Like his shoulder, like you,
anatomy. Use anatomy words.
No,
use anatomy words.
He'd keep an arm like bent at his side.
Okay.
The other hand holding the microphone, and he would turn around like a stiff, but like jerking, but stiff.
Okay,
movement.
so
He probably had Tourette's or something.
No, but it felt like it was part of his stage routine. Okay?
Yeah,
maybe his arm was broken.
He's doing some body comedy.
There's no singing, Adam.
Oh, okay.
How much of your physical presence is part of the act? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Gotcha. Yeah. So when I started and for about 4 years in Chicago, it was never really part of my act. And then I moved to Chicago, after basically 2 years of COVID and started performing again. And a guy was at a club and got a note from someone was like, "Hey, you just need to be more physical in your act." And I was like, I never thought about that. And he's like, "Look, you don't have to be, Sebastian Maniscalco, but like you got to do some movement. You're performing. You're not just saying your jokes." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's an interesting point." So I watched the tape and I was like, "Oh, I can like add a little bit of physicality," and it made like a huge difference. And so I'm not like running around on stage, but I'm definitely trying to move my arms a lot. And then what was cool about the Funny Bone is that like it's a big stage, so you do have room to move around and really engage everyone. Whereas like in New York and Chicago, some of the clubs like they're literally basement bars and the stage is tiny, and so you don't always
room.
Yeah, like when you're on stage, like you don't have a ton of room to move around until you're in some of these bigger places. So it's hard to sort of practice. But that's why I try and incorporate a lot of this, like maybe going up and down and like moving my arms and incorporating that into the joke. But like it's hard to be going back and forth and doing a lot of that stuff until you're at these clubs that have a little more spaces or theaters.
Adam, thank you. All right, these two assholes thought I was being an idiot asking a stupid question, but that was actually a very intelligent question.
No, I mean, you were being an idiot asking a good question. There's a difference between what just happened and what you think happened.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, oh, fuck, I lost it. Oh, fuck. Have you ever done any corporate gigs?
Have I ever done any corporate gigs?
I hear those are the best.
I don't know about that.
I don't know what that means. What is he talking? What does that mean?
So a corporate gig is like, let's say the local office has like a Christmas party or something.
Oh, okay.
And they hire a comedian, and usually you have to work clean, and it'll be in some rented out big non-comedy space, and the shows are not always great. But like, I've heard mixed things. Like some people enjoy doing them. Like the pay could be pretty decent, and typically you don't need to be like, you don't need to be at Brad Williams's level to do it, or even, the feature JB Ball. So like a lot of people at my level or a little above will be like, hey, look, this was $500. I'm not, and I got to do 30 minutes. Like I'm not going to get that opportunity. You know, like I got to take the opportunities I get. It's good practice too. I'm in talks with someone about potentially doing something at a country club in Columbus this summer. So that would be sort of my first one. Whoa. I technically did a corporate-ish gig years ago. My high school, for the seniors, they had some like, I don't remember what it was, but it was basically like some day party for them. And at the end, like they were like, oh, why don't we have an alum come do stand-up? And I am convinced that high schoolers do not get stand-up comedy. Not that it didn't go well, but it was definitely, they were like, wait, so he's just talking the whole time? You know, like they had not watched stand-up. And so it was not a good fit. Yeah, no, I'm definitely trying to get into it as much as I can. But
what age were these kids that didn't get stand-up? I need to know.
I mean, they were high school seniors.
To so begin for what year though? What year did you do this?
Oh, what year did I do this? It was probably my second year. That was the other thing. So I was booked for 30 minutes. Did not have 30 minutes, and they were also
That's
like, "Can
hard.
you do
That's
some
a hard
jokes?"
span.
Yeah, they were like, "Can you do some jokes about the high school?" And I was like, "I mean, I guess," but like, I didn't know. Like, I was like, "Well, they're still part of the school. Are they gonna like get the jokes of me making fun of the school?" And so it was alright. It was fine, but you know, so I must have been 23 or 24. They were 17 and 18. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the summer because hopefully, I think.
Sorry, I don't know how old you are. So, like, what was the?
I'm 20. I'm 27. So this was
okay. So about 4 years ago, you're telling me high school students did not understand like the concept of stand-up comedy.
So fucking old.
I think. I mean, I think they like understood that like, okay, this is what stand-up is, but they had never seen it before, and certainly not seen it live. And I think
so. You were pretty much just their only context.
Yeah, that was the other thing was there was no warm up act, okay. So it was just they threw me out there.
You opened like, for yourself. Okay.
And like these.
What's the deal with sex ed?
Yeah, I mean, none of these kids had heard.
Call
of
Randy, he'd save you.
And they had just been like running around and eating like a big dinner, and like they're high schoolers, so it was not the right setting for it. And I think the school learns after that. They're like, maybe not.
So, what kind of joke do you tell seniors?
I mean, like,
I would
okay, so
make
I was
fun of their mascot.
I was booked for 30 minutes. And so I was just like, well, I have to do my entire act, which at the time was probably like 8 minutes. And then I wrote like a bunch of jokes about the school. And I was like, but the problem is like I couldn't test it out at an open mic or anything because I was like, these jokes
are such a niche audience.
Yeah,
like you're doing surgery.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like,
we have interns
crowd work the rest of the time to fill it in. So yeah, and like I knew some of the kids too because like I played basketball and some of them played basketball, so I knew them from like doing camps and stuff like that. It was an odd layer too.
That's so interesting and funny. I love it.
Crowd work class. That was crowd work class that day.
Yeah.
I know we only have too much time left, and there's two things I really want to get to, and I don't know if I'll get to both of them. So I'm going to start with this one. When crafting jokes, like what's your process? You walk around all day with a buck slip and just write down anything that pops in your mind. You use a notepad on your phone. Like I have a lot of funny ideas, and I lose them after I get out of the shower. That's all the action happens in the shower. So,
Alexa,
shower thoughts. Yeah,
I don't have an Alexa in the shower.
Yeah.
So like, what's your method? How do you put these things together?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you that like one of the biggest keys to being successful, I think, in comedy is like being organized. As lame as that sounds, it's very key.
Oh,
and so
I'm fucked.
What I will do is if I just have like a premise thought, I will text it to myself. And then the way I write is I have a notebook that.
Brem, motherfucker, did that just come to you? Did the concept of not oh my God, you fucking boomer.
Yeah, well, hey, look.
I wish you had more testicles I could stomp on.
What was that, Adam?
Yeah, so I'll text myself, and then I also have a joke book where I actually write out the jokes. And so I try to write for about 20 to 30 minutes a day, as much as I can. But then when I'm trying to like really generate an idea, is called the web method. And so I may have a topic like, and it'll be pretty broad. So it might be something like food, like something like that. If I'm just trying to come up with something, and then I come up with like 5 subtopics off that, and then I come up with 5 subtopics off of those, and so then I have like 31 ideas. So then you just start writing. And then you sort of like, okay, well, what's funny about this? And like, you don't have to do, I can use as much or as little of that as I want. But it just helps the creative process of just coming up with ideas. And then I'll just sort of start writing punchlines through that, see what works, put it into my computer in a spreadsheet, and then start editing from there. And then I go to open mics and try it out, or try it out on a show. And you see what works, you check it off. If it works, you keep it. If not, you get mad. You're like, it was the audience's fault, and you keep doing it until you're like, you know what? This was me,
it's
not the
always it's always the fucking crowd, right?
Do you have anything you want to try out that you're working on
the podcast? Yeah, not really. That's not necessarily
no.
Yeah,
that's not how it goes.
This is a Zoom. This is basically a Zoom show, and I hated those during COVID. So
okay. See, Randy booked this. I'm sorry.
That's not entirely how I work.
Kristen.
But I do know comics that like they don't go to open mics anymore, and they basically use their podcast to just riff, and they're like, well, if this person laughed, then let me try it out. But I think that's not necessarily the best method of writing.
There's no feedback. That's so that like comedy podcast is so difficult because there's no feedback. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure Randy would think differently about his like dead parents jokes if people could,
say we're uncomfortable.
Feedback into the podcast.
Hey, those things got me a promotion.
Comedy.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you do an open mic or show or whatever, and you say something that you think is, because like you're saying it because you think it's funny. At one point, you thought it was funny, and when the audience is like, "No, that's not funny," you are just thinking like, "Oh, okay, I should never say this again."
See, the weird thing I hang up on is like when like I say a joke, and then just so you know, like I've never done like a stand up or like an open mic like that, but just like with friends or with family. Like when I say a joke and it doesn't land, I immediately fixate on why it didn't land. Like, oh, that was like was that too politically charged, or like was that too like did I use a fucking like 19 syllable word and not realize it?
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's and that's why
it's like
stand-ups
never know how to do the troubleshooting.
Well, yeah, so that's a big part of it is watching the tapes or listening to your recordings and being like, all right, what was wrong with this? And sometimes it is the crowd. Not gonna lie, like. It's you, if you're talking to your friends or family, and, if you're talking to your parents or grandparents and you say a joke and then they just look at you like, what? And it's like, all right, well, like comedy has evolved a lot.
What is a TikTok?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, even before TikTok, but like, so the audience, also figuring out where the audience is at and who they are, and also what kind of night it is. Like, Thursday late show is very different than the Friday early show, which is very different from the Saturday late show. So, which is different in Columbus, Ohio versus New York versus, LA or something like that. So you got to sort of calibrate it all and, take all the feedback and figure it out. And then also decide what kind of comedy you want to do. Like you might decide like, no, you know what? I'm a late show comic, and that's what I'm going to do. Those are going to be my best shows.
Okay. Can we just touch real quickly on your short film, Jokes from My Father?
Sure. So, yeah, that's a deep dig. So I made a film when I must have been 1 or 2 years into comedy in Chicago, and I just wanted to make something and see what it was like because I was like interested in TV and film, and it was kind of about sort of my life where I was like, right after graduation, where I was like, yeah, I kind of want to do this comedy thing, but like I also have sort of other interests, and like it was very much like, jokes from my father about like my dad being a comedian, but not actually doing it. And so it was me like, I honestly don't even remember the whole film, but like, I remember there was like a funny scene about an interview, and that's honestly it. But now I just finished making a short film with my cousin here, and it's like so much better. And like, we'll try to like get into some festivals and stuff. So I'm
nice.
much more into that, and hopefully we can do a premiere on the internet after like a festival run. But this one is good. So I've seen the rough cut, and I'm like, there's something here, and I think it showcases our skills.
Not that you have to delve into the details or anything, but is it another one about your father? Or
Yeah, no, I'm happy to talk about it. So it's called No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and it's basically the premise is. All right, so I'll give some backstory. So I have two pilots, and I like they're good scripts. I like them. People have given me good feedback, but like they're not really.
Yeah, one of our interns read it.
Oh, really?
And summarized it for me. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I really like some of the themes that you're dealing with.
Thank
there.
you. Yeah, so that one is Shules Out. It's a mockumentary about a synagogue. So I think The Office or Abbott Elementary, but in a synagogue. The other one. Well, so anyway, so some of my friends were like, my comedian friends were like, hey, you should just make a short film or something like that because no one's gonna like read your script and then immediately make it unless you have like some clout, or something. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And like, you make some short films, you'll just start meeting people in the film and TV industry through festivals and just working, and like that'll be more helpful than anything. So I was like, okay. So the film, it's 15 minutes. It starts with I'm locked out of my apartment and I have to call the maintenance guy to let me in. But he can't because he's an observant Jew and it's Friday night. So I have to find a place to go. And so I go to one of my friends, but then he ends up kicking me out. And then it's like 3 different friends' places that I have to leave for various reasons. And then I get back to my apartment and the maintenance guy's there. So I added the first iteration of it didn't have the maintenance guy being an observant Jew. It was just like he couldn't come. And then I was like, oh, I can submit this to Jewish film festivals and have a better chance of getting in, but you need to have like some Jewish themes. So I added that in, but like then the other, like I just added like 1 page of that, but the rest of the script was the same. But like it's very much like if you live in New York, like a lot of these landlords are Jewish and, the whole staff is, Orthodox Jewish. And so it like very much like a very reasonable thing that could happen. So, sort of telling that story, but it's comedy of just, I obviously get kicked out of 3 different places. So something funny has to happen, but,
sounds like the first time I got high.
Yeah, no, well, the problem is that I'm sober in the thing. But yeah, no, it's you watch it and you feel the like sort of anxiety and tension throughout the film as I'm like, I just want to be back in my apartment. I'm so tired of dealing with these annoying people. So the film sort of, reflects that, and my cousin's a director, and he did a great job with that.
Is the ending that you go to Lowe's and get one of those locks with the keypad?
I'm not going to give away the ending. People are going to have to watch it when it comes out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is
that's
wrong
fair.
with you? What is wrong
Sorry.
with you?
Hey, Cody.
Sorry, I just had that thought, and
so I didn't. Who is your intern? I didn't realize you guys got interns.
Oh, we have 31 of them.
31 interns.
Yeah, it's a whole corporation.
A whole media internship.
Yeah, Rich Dickman Corporation. Yeah, it's a whole media conglomerate, really.
Wow.
He lost a lot of money with the FTX collapse, though.
The
so
FTX
it's been kind of me.
Why? So what was your interest in the funny money? I've sort of always been against it. I knew it was a scam.
He had told us it was just easy. He loved the gambling. He loved the feeling of gambling. And loved
somebody mentioned the term infinite money, and I guess that was just attractive to some investors.
Yeah.
Well, he lost a lot of money when Russia started the war in Ukraine because he had a lot of money.
He had a bunch
Russia.
of Russian.
So we had to move our operations.
You don't have to talk.
Sorry, I don't want to bore you with it. But
he literally had a lot of cash in Russia. Like there was like 4 pallets that he like needed somebody to get back.
Well, I won't ask any follow-up questions. I don't want to be part of.
This is the legitimate arm of the Rich Dickman Group, so we don't talk too much about that stuff. But Adam, we made a short film of our own of sorts a couple of years ago. Back in 2021, we did a behind-the-scenes of our podcast. It came out in 3 parts because I don't know if it classifies as a short film at 45 minutes.
a short
awesome.
film about a podcast. So you guys have very low egos.
I know, and the thing is, like, Rem keeps calling it a behind the scenes when the footage was explicitly shot for, like, the thing I was asked to edit. So it was just very confusing the entire time. I was expecting to get like B-roll of like fly on the wall camera, but it was literally just selfie videos from these two.
That would have been a good idea. Why didn't you pitch that, Cody?
That's what we were fucking doing because we called it that.
If you guys are all in
That'll be our
different
next one.
locations, then like there's no studio, then wouldn't it just be self tapes?
Yes.
They'd selfie
That's what it was.
themselves.
Yeah, but
It was selfie
If you're
cam.
ever-
From the toilet at one point.
It was selfie handy cam with cell phone footage, and they called it behind the scenes, like it was gonna.
We just upgraded
be
to the new
something
iPhones
candid.
with our corporate phones.
Yeah, see, this is what I got to deal with, Adam. You
Fools.
probably you know you don't have anybody telling you all your ideas are stupid, just your own brain probably, like me. But I got these guys doing it all the time, and we made a great. Short
I
film, a
compete
great,
with Randy to
quote,
tell you
unquote,
how stupid
behind
you
the
are
scenes.
sometimes.
Thank you. God, it was all richdickman.com if you want to check it out sometime.
What?
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm just showing we're pretty.
if I
cool
have
dudes,
45 free
and
minutes,
this-
I could do that.
It's not 45 fucking minutes.
It's broken up into 3 parts, so you can take your time
And
with
what
it.
is-
But this
Yeah,
is the
you
point
can
of
do it on the
interview.
treadmill. I like it on the treadmill.
Okay.
Oh, I know the question I was going to ask. Those tiny stages in New York, would an individual who weighed in at 420.69 pounds as a shoot be able to fit on those stages?
Unfortunately, the weight limit is 420.68 pounds, so I think you'd just have missed it.
Oh,
but
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I
told
like
you.
this. Randy, it's like absurd losing half a pound. I can't
That's-
be fucking bothered.
that's a good question. I
Yeah,
think
well-
that there are some hefty comedians. I don't know their weight, but I would. There are
Could
some
old school
clubs where I
Gabriel
would not go
Iglesias
because
do
I don't
it?
trust them to have a sturdy enough stage. That would be my answer.
Really?
Oh, yeah, there's places I don't go because I'm like, that's not going to hold me. Like my father-in-law's front porch.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on if you're willing to go with a lawsuit. You know, you could probably make some money, but
Oh, Slippin' Jimmy.
I fell through my mom's gazebo once.
did you sue her?
Did
Oh.
you sue her?
No. She yelled at me though. Like I fell through the fucking stairs, and she's like, "You asshole!" I'm like,
How old were you?
"Oh, this was like last year."
Oh, yeah.
This
Okay,
turns into
that's-
therapy for Cody.
Yeah, she's Filipino, so she would sue him.
I don't know
What?
if that's how that
Rim?
works.
That
Rim.
doesn't
I
check
don't
out,
know
though.
No.
really too many.
As a future government censor, I must
That was
cease and
weird.
desist you.
You're Filipino.
No, I just
and
like
you
fell right
live-
through it.
You're Filipino and you live in Hawaii.
Me, I'm a half breed. My mom is full.
Nice.
You can see a picture of baby Cody at his Twitter.
Oh yeah,
Did you grow up in
At
Hawaii?
Cody McCann.
the first 3 years of my life, and then I made my way to New York, and then circled back here
So you did? Yeah. Okay.
in Hawaii.
Nice.
You did a stint in Missouri. You got some Midwest in you.
I don't like to mention the Missouri
He doesn't
Loves
like-
Company.
He doesn't like
part.
Missouri. Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
It was
I forgot. I forgot about the incident with the
You know what
rabbits.
most people
and the-
don't realize about the
knives.
Gateway Arch,
Oh, what? I've been in that
Uh,
motherfucker.
right? You know what most people don't like wrap their heads around? The elevator in that has to tilt because it's a fucking arch.
Oh, yeah.
So the floor you're standing on will eventually become the wall of the elevator when you're at the top of the elevator.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have to like navigate like
So you have to
Not
move while it's
falling.
moving. Holy
yes,
shit!
you have to move while the elevator's
Yeah.
moving so you stay on your feet.
I'm afraid of heights,
Because
so
it can't
I'm
just
never
go
gonna do
straight
it.
up. Yeah,
Me too.
and that wasn't like this shit wasn't disclosed to me like when I first visited like the arch, excuse me, the arch when like I was like 8.
Arcs in
It's just-
Kentucky.
I know. I'm a bad St. Louis person right
My
now.
girlfriend's from
Um,
St. Louis,
anyway,
so I go and visit every
yeah.
now and then.
Yeah, and it
Oh,
was,
nice.
I was not warned the floor was gonna like disappear from underneath. The floor would change. The elevator floor would change. And I got freaked out and I was like, I need to be out of here. But like I looked out like the nearest window and I'm like hundreds of feet in the fucking air. I don't know how tall
Yeah,
that shit
that would
is.
freak me out too.
155 feet.
Okay, so not hundreds of feet in the air.
Yeah. So, Adam, I hope we can become best friends after this. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You want to plug all of your stuff and where we can find you and get some more of your comedy and check out upcoming short
Yeah,
films and all
yeah.
that
No,
stuff?
thanks guys for having me. So, I'm on all socials at Adam Nate Levine, all one thing. Levine, Levine, It's spelled just like the singer, but I had to throw my middle name in there.
You notice we didn't ask you about that?
I
We're
blew that
pros.
joke 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I get it all the time. So, thank you for the reprieve.
Yeah, it's like Michael Bolton and Office
Yeah,
Space.
exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so follow me on Instagram. That is the thing that's most helpful and is like helpful
That's really
for me
fucking
getting
funny,
more
actually.
shows and more work. The short film, I don't know where it will land eventually, but if you follow me on Instagram, that is where you can keep up to date. And then
That's the weird thing. Like they don't like they never tell you where like you're the baby you've been working on for like the last however months. Like people rarely tell you where it's going to end up living on the internet. It's just like I don't know where it's going to be, and it sucks.
yeah, I mean, so that's the problem is that like the way festivals work is like they all like to have like
Shit changes.
exclusive premieres.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then you can't like really share it.
It's like where can I see
yeah.
it? It's like I don't know.
But
What was your Instagram again?
what'd you say?
What was the Instagram again?
Adam
I'm sorry,
Nate
I'm trying to
Levine,
follow you.
all one thing, no underscores or anything like that. But yeah, that's all my Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I don't really do too much on Twitter. I feel like I should. Yeah. So, but anyways, if you're in New York, or Columbus or Chicago, which those are the three cities I'm most often in, I will post where I have shows.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, come through.
I work in Columbus, so I'll come see you if you're.
Yeah,
again.
and I come back a decent amount. So like I'll either be doing these shows called Don't Tell Comedy, which are at like secret locations across Columbus. It's a national brand, but like they have they have a chapter in Columbus, and so usually in the short north, and those are always fun shows. The one I did when I was there was in an optical store, like for eyeglasses. And
you ever done Dave Chappelle's Cornfield?
no, because I'm on this podcast. But
Have you done Dave Chappelle's Cornfield, Randy?
Yeah, I've been in it, but that's it.
No, so during COVID, I remember when they were announcing it, and like my dad and I were trying to get tickets, but they would sell out so quickly. But no, I never got to go, and I have not been as a performer. I'm not expecting an invite anytime soon, but I know he's building a club, so maybe one day. But yeah, no. So Funny Bone in Columbus, we'll host there. But then I know there's some clubs in Dayton and Cincinnati that I'm trying to break into. So if we got any Southwest Ohioans,
Nice.
Oh yeah, also an hour from both those cities. Yeah.
Don't forget Hartford.
So it's actually crazy. I did. There's a guy that runs some shows all across Connecticut. Shout out to Mustafa. And so occasionally I will actually go to Hartford. So that's another one I should plug, and I'll hit you up if whenever I'm back. But
Hell yeah.
I did a great show in Hartford in February.
No shit.
Oh,
Where
nice.
Where in Hartford? Do you remember?
It was kind of downtownish and just like this bar. God, I wish I remember the name. They were cool. They
Was it
the owner of the
City
bar
Steam
gave
Brewery?
me like 2 free bottles of wine because he liked my set.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
God,
nice.
I feel bad. I'm being a business partner. in this.
Booze tip.
But it was cool.
Brouhaha. No.
No. It wasn't a club. It was just like a bar show. But the brouhaha, yeah. So that's one I'm like trying to get into and we'll reach out to. But this was just a bar show. Went up like I think I left on like Tuesday at like 4 and then came back Tuesday at like midnight. Just like a random. So it was fun.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us, Adam. You're wonderful. You did a great job. I don't
You're
know
a
if you
king.
have podcast experience, but you did great.
Thank you. Can I ask one question? What the hell is your Lego image? I know this is not a visual thing, but he's got this sort of Lego. I thought it was like maybe a Knights of the Round Table Arthur thing, but then I was like,
Even better.
no. And then it kind of looked like maybe a Last Supper thing, but then it's like a square
Look
table.
how fucking hard these two stooges are smiling right now.
I'm
hope
so
people
glad you
can see
asked.
the video.
'Cause one of the best parts of our show in the last couple of months has been the inclusion of AI art, and we
Christ,
feed it.
no.
We have a game we play every week where we give it a prompt that involves our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I know you're Jewish, so I don't know how you feel about
Not my Lord and Savior.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
we-
Well,
He's
it's
on
what
the
would
team.
Jesus
He's on the
draw.com.
He's not the team captain.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
That was a
this
whole
is-
49 minutes before our first awkward Jew moment.
Yeah. No,
That's a record.
So this
for
is
us.
Jesus at the Last Supper. Jesus serving Thanksgiving at the Last
Oh, so I
Supper.
was right.
in Lego. Yeah.
Yep.
So we make a prompt like Jesus at Walmart or Jesus in prison, and then we have to come up with a theme, and we decide whose art is best. And you can check it out whatwouljesusdraw.com, as Randy said.
Whose line is it anyway?
Is it
Rose?
always Legos?
The points never matter.
Nope.
No, it's
No,
always
that was
Jesus.
just last week's.
Yeah.
It's always Jesus, and then the theme.
Yeah, if you scroll up,
changes.
you can see Jesus in prison.
Yeah. If you go to the
He's
live show chat.
Oh, I see.
Oh my God!
Oh, all right.
You silly.
He's like, oh, I see.
Yeah, well,
that's funny.
interesting, I guess. Interesting. All right, well, thank you guys.
What was that? Our Saudi Arabia spike? Our Saudi Arabia listeners?
16% of our 16% of
Once
our
we
users
started
are from Saudi
playing
Arabia.
this? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, thanks, Adam. I hope we can talk to you
Yeah,
again
for
soon.
sure. Hit me up whenever.
All right, man.
All right.
Have a good
Thanks,
one.
man.
He called it interesting.
What a lovely lad. You know what that means? It's
Yeah, he didn't
interesting.
like it. Didn't like it at all.
No, it's interesting. And he also
No.
didn't like it.
All right. Yeah. I
Th-
like
th-
Adam.
there is something sacrilegious about what we fucking do every week, and in a fair multitude of ways.
It's my favorite part about it. That it is
I don't think
sacrilegious.
Jesus would ever be in a prison.
No, that's the first
I mean,
place he
aside
would go.
from the one he was at.
I was going to say, Cody.
Not
I hate
like
to
one with
tell you,
fucking
bud.
bars on it, but one with like a fucking like boulder door. There were no hinges on that boulder.
He moves that shit with ease, bro. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
thanks again to Adam for coming on. Adam Levine. Check him out on Instagram, Adam Nate Levine. I just followed him. And you can follow me at Rem Dickman. But we got a whole bunch of shit to do tonight. Randy's got 27 new
Oh my
bumpers or
God.
some bullshit. I don't know. Randy, that's too many bumpers, bud. But no, I don't know if we have time for this.
You want segments? We've got
We got to do at least one.
segments.
Interns
Okay.
worked hard.
Cody, have you seen the notes?
It's Thinking with Your Dickman.
All right.
Oh my
this
God.
is the part of the show where we give advice.
I tried to format it for you, Cody.
Yeah, I just refreshed and everything. The formatting shit its fucking self. What's good, you miserable shit stains? Juggling Jim from Jakarta, Indonesia. Here, you have amazing literary skills for an Indonesian. I'm 40 years old, polyamorous dude, and I have got 3 partners: a 35-year-old white woman, 38-year-old black man, and a 29-year-old non-binary person of Indian descent. I'm struggling to keep everyone happy and satisfied, and it's wearing me the fuck out. How do I keep juggling this act going without it dropping any balls, literal or metaphor?
All right. This one's easy. Get the
I
hell
hope
out of this
everyone's
relationship.
balls are dropped that we're dealing with, first of all.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Jonathan Silver just texted me and asked me to say that.
Oh,
Stop. That's I'm
Yeah.
going to just say stop.
Stop. Nobody needs
Yeah.
that mental anguish.
Do something else. Break up
Relationships.
with like 2 of those people and
Yeah.
like take up gardening.
Break up with all of them. Break up with all of
Yeah.
them and start over.
You can
Right?
do
You
that.
made the mistake of doing the polyamorous stuff. That
You can get into
doesn't work.
rock tumbling. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that'll keep you out of trouble too. But the
What do you like?
polyamory
You'd
stuff,
what did you recommend, Rem? Racing sims. That's nice. That's a
racing
nice thing
sims,
to
that'll
do.
keep you busy. That'll waste
Jesus
a lot.
AI
Hey,
art.
Look at this.
Jesus
You can do
AI.
racing sims and still have a wife. There's room for one spouse. Rem is
Yeah.
living proof. There's room for one spouse and racing sims.
I don't really do the Sims so much anymore. I kind of
Oh,
my
I'm
video
sorry.
gaming
Okay, well.
comes and goes in waves.
Well,
But that's okay. I got the
I'm
steering wheel
sorry.
right next to me at this desk.
Jim. From
I'm gonna say
Jakarta.
I'm gonna piggyback on what Adam said and tell you to get organized. If there's something you're passionate about and it's banging all these people,
You might
Then-
don't twist Adam's words like that. We don't know if Adam.
well, he was passionate about
Adam would
comedy and he got organized and made his goal happen.
Well, Adam might not be
So-
passionate about polyamory or
oh,
You know, we should
Well,
have
that's
kept the
my
comedian
advice.
on for this part.
good job, everyone.
Maybe
Especially
Randy,
Jim from Indonesia.
yeah. Next time we're booking Adam, we should book him specifically for this segment. Tell him he has to perform.
okay.
Yeah, you just say no. All right, this is the next one.
Hey, you dim-witted dickweeds. It's Jabbering Joe from Jackson, Mississippi. I'm a 47-year-old white dude who's into cosplay. My problem? My 30-year-old Asian girlfriend can't stand it. She says it's creepy as hell, and when I dress up like an anime character She tells me it's creepy as hell when I dress up as an anime characters and wants me to quit. How do I convince her to accept my hobby without having her dump my nerdy ass? Here, what kind of anime is we talking here? That's always the question when someone's like, "Oh,
wait, hold on, you're missing
anime." It's like, what kind?
Nope. This guy's 47.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna let some 30-year-old tell him what to do? Fucking throw her out. Get somebody else. You don't need that shit.
Your advice is for everyone to be alone. I think you're trying to say something, bud.
Maybe Joe from Jacksonville, Mississippi should try gardening. That's going to be my cure-all. Try gardening.
Try gardening. But my advice isn't to be alone. My advice is life is too short to put up with the bullshit. So if your 30-year-old Asian girlfriend can't stand you dressing up in something you love, and if you're doing cosplay, you have some extra money hanging around, that means you could flash some cash and find a new 30-year-old Asian or whatever girl, or maybe somebody a little more mature.
Wives. That's Rem's idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is you don't have to be stuck with the person who doesn't enjoy your passion. Okay.
All right.
You can keep moving.
You guys good with that?
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do something else.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck.
It is now
I want to hear the new shit, Randy.
This week's finalists for Dick of the Week.
Balls are all blue.
And here's our first nominee.
I don't even know where it is anymore. You changed everything.
And we start
Cody.
with Svensson.
Hey there, Rich Dickman Show. It's your old buddy Svensson, the one and only Dick detective coming at you. I got a hell of a story for you about one of the biggest dick I've ever come across. So sit tight, buckle up, and get ready for the ride.
We don't need all that.
They're not using the right cord on his phone.
When I was out on my routine dick patrol, I was walking past old Mrs. Jenkins' house when I spotted this absolute prick of a man, who I'll call Prickly Pete. Pete was busy spray painting an obscene image of a giant schlong right on Mrs. Jenkins' pristine white fence. As the foremost spotter of dicks, I knew I had to do something. So I walked over and tapped him on the shoulder.
Svensson looking at fences so often.
What the fuck do you want, man?
He's always like staring. That's always the background. There's a fence.
I could tell he was the type of guy who'd steal candy from a baby and then kick the baby for good measure. I confronted him about his douche-tastic behavior, and he just shrugged it off, smirking like a smug little bastard. I had no choice but to nominate this cockwumble for the prestigious title of Dick of the Week. So, in conclusion, I'd like to formally nominate Prickly Pete, the cock-juggling thunder cunt, for the Rich Dickman Show's Dick of the Week.
Jesus.
The sheer magnitude of his assholery is truly unmatched, and I'm confident that he'll be a strong contender. Thanks for listening, folks, and always remember, Svensson's got his eyes peeled for dicks, and no prick goes unnoticed. Over and out.
I like this gung ho Svensson.
And no prick is too small. I love that line.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you, Svensson. Real quick, my nomination for Dick of the Week is the asshole who's driving his truck up and down my neighborhood for 2.5 hours.
What's his name?
My daughter
You can dox him. Just give us his first name.
Truck Johnson.
Truck Johnson.
Yeah.
That sounds like an animated series on Adult Swim.
I was going to say that literally sounds like some
copyright.
Kind of like net trucks. I was going to say truck stop porn star, like gay porn star from like the 70s.
Truck Johnson.
Truck Johnson.
That'll be my new FetLife name. Truck Johnson.
Unzip it. Truck carrying 40,000 pounds of toxic soil from East Palestine train derailment crashes on highway. This was me. I submitted this one.
Rainey, are people dropping dead left and right out there? Like, what's going on? Are you guys even hear about any of this stuff?
All I know is that the local Facebook group is concerned.
Do this.
They have concerns.
Is the water still rainbow?
Are they still doing yikes faces?
Rainbows are popping up everywhere. It's
really
weird. Yeah, it's like,
How many do you see right now?
Oh, currently 3. It's a triple rainbow.
That's 3 too many.
You're in your room. Because this fucking webcam light is so bright.
A truck that was responsible for carrying 40,000 pounds of contaminated soil from East Palestine, Ohio, where a train carrying hazardous materials crashed in February, overturned Monday. The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency said that roughly half of the soil that was on the truck ended up spilling along the highway.
So this is a truck that was carrying The soil from East Pal. Okay, all right. So we're just continuing.
Yeah, it was probably disposing of it,
Yeah.
and it dropped it again.
God damn it!
You know what I mean?
we need
here's
those auto truck drivers
the absurd
now.
thing. Here's the absurd thing. When a regular bloke like you, me, or Randy spills a glass of milk, the milk stays spilled, and we can't do it again. Yet somehow these people found out how to like, spill the same shit twice.
This would be like the
it's
equivalent of like
boggling you know what I mean? Like,
if you wipe the
what's
milk
the worst
up with a
thing you've
paper
ever
towel,
spilled?
and then you take you wring the paper towel out on the floor. That's like the same thing. That's what this is.
This is like having to break up with a Japanese person.
What?
You wanna
Because you have to
explain
drop
that?
the bomb twice. Interns wrote
Wish
that
Adam
one
was
for
here
me.
for that. Good. Let's make sure they're fed this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's make sure all of them have half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The tractor trailer, which had an open top carrying contaminant. What the fuck? Was traveling along the SR
Warren
165 on Monday, and the accident occurred sometime after noon local time, Columbia County.
Dickman Con's not happening in Ohio this year. Man.
Yeah, no, fuck this. Fuck.
All right, I'll
fuck the
drive to
hellscape
you,
live
and we'll
on.
fly to Cody.
I've been trying to
They
talk
found
my
the
wife
truck
into
on
it.
the side, off the roadway. Okay,
Going to
they
Hawaii
just-
for
just
vacation.
Upsy daisy.
Telling her we could hang out with Cody, go visit his mom's farm.
Let's get some fish. You're gonna like fish tacos around.
Yeah,
I know you
my
don't
wife
like
loves fish tacos. She loves them.
I know.
Yeah.
I know your wife loves fish tacos.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get you to like fish tacos.
I'll eat anything. I don't give a shit. I love food. You know what I had?
You were
Jamaican
very
food.
narrow-minded when I brought up the concept of burrito tacos. Just letting you know.
Was I? I apologize.
You were
for
just
that.
like, there's only one type of taco. and it's
Okay,
meat,
but
cheese,
then I
and
learned what it was. All right,
and then, which means you also shunned the concept of fish tacos.
Cody, let me tell you something. Have you ever had Jamaican food?
The simplest Jamaican food, yes.
That's what you need because it's amazing. Jerk chicken, stew beef. Oh
Yeah,
my God! There's this Jamaican
that
place
stuff.
near where I work. God damn.
It's a very
amazing.
as long as you need the right gut for it, but it is a very adventurous avenue of cuisine. I've heard
Yes, I like it. I like it
very
a lot.
very very sinus healthy.
Yep.
Clears them
Yep.
out real nice.
It's a good
And
spice.
Like, it's not spices you're used to either. You know what I mean?
No,
When
right.
People think of spice, they think of like India, the Far East, and maybe like their own like backyard chili
sharp
peppers,
hot pepper.
but never.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
they
that,
don't
that
think
weird
like,
dry
Jamaica's
heat
got. Yeah.
that lingers and suddenly disappears. It's great. Rest in peace, Randy. I don't know how much longer you got out there in Ohio, but it's gonna suck. I hope you can make it. to
Weather's
episode
been great.
301. Oh, good.
Weather's been really nice.
Excellent.
All them rainbows.
Rainbows
17
everywhere.
of them rainbows.
Yeah. All right. Anything
All
more
right.
on this?
Oh, there's another dick of the week.
Kid Rock promotes
there you
new
go.
seltzer with ties to transgender partnership.
After he criticized the Budweiser can, yeah.
Singer-songwriter Kid Rock posted an Instagram photo on Sunday promoting Happy Dad Seltzer Company, which has been partnered with transgender figure Caitlyn Jenner in the past. This is contrast to his vocal criticism of Bud Light. Oh, of course. Recently collaborated with the transgender influencer and activist Dylan Mulvaney. Many conservative figures have called for the boycott of Bud Light, with Jenner herself urging people to switch to Happy Dad beer, or Happy Dad seltzer.
You know what I love about YouTube is that I can watch the commercials from the 70s. I didn't see even those, but live. I was born in 1980, but I can watch 80s commercials.
Oh, yeah, old commercials
and 90s
are
commercials.
great,
And let me
man.
tell you what, 80s commercials and early 90s commercials are just the best. All right. There's always some type of awesome voiceover guy. There's a bunch of beautiful people in the commercial. Everybody's smiling and having fun. And you know what? The product is telling you how great it is. Why can't we just promote how great our stuff is rather than the message? Just my shit is cool. Buy it.
Well, that's the thing.
Thank you.
They pay, Dylan Mulvaney money to do this, so people like us talk about it, so the people who listen to us listen about it. Like it's just the concept of fucking marketing.
Good point.
But it's bad
Sorry.
marketing. It's bad. All right, I don't like it. But
I don't know.
this Kid Rock thing is stupid. Did you see the video?
I haven't
where
had a Bud Light in forever.
The video that Kid Rock did where he shot up the shit. Right? He starts looking. The video starts with him looking away from the camera, and he turns towards the camera. You know, he does that stupid maneuver. And
right.
I don't give a shit what he said or what happened after that. All I know is I'm laughing because that's ridiculous. There's no reason for him to turn towards the camera because he obviously is the one who started the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Randy.
My fucking light went off.
No, I don't give a shit. Play the thing.
Oh, sorry.
After much deliberation, the incredibly handsome expert judges have come to the consensus that this week's Dick of the Week award goes to
United States government and the cover-up of East Palestine.
It's not the cover-up. They just can't. They can't start to sweep it under the rug.
Clean it. What a bunch of assholes.
You know what I mean? It's so wild to be like, oh, they're covering stuff up, dude. They can't even deal with it, the situation.
So who's in charge of that? Is that going to be Randy? Is that Ohio's job to pick that up, or is the government?
No, it's Norfolk Southerns, the fucking bastards, and they probably contracted out to the lowest fucking bidder, who was probably using an old fucking piece of shit dump truck that hasn't been worked on in 30 fucking years, and it fucking fell apart. And that's what happened.
Fell apart. I like how Randy thinks vehicles falling apart is a normal thing to happen in Ohio.
Well, my grandpa was a diesel mechanic for 40 years, Cody. He kept everything on the road for a lot of construction companies.
And this is happening now.
Well, he retired. He blew out his knee in 2018. So he had to retire. He jumped off a dozer, landed, and the meniscus just tore in half.
See,
and the doctor that took over.
Yeah,
the doctor that did the surgery botched it 3 times in a row. And
he shouldn't have fucking jumped off the truck, man. Like, he shouldn't have done
He did it 1,000 times. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. He shouldn't do
life.
it. Cody, do you have a differing opinion on Dick of the Week here, or are we all in agreement? It's the drain thing. Or the dump truck.
The drain thing.
Oh, I'm actually going with Swenson's.
Oh.
Because painting dicks is like one step too far, you know? You know the theory of the broken window theory? Like, around crime? Well, dicks is the escalation of that. Once they start painting dicks, next thing you know, they're taking the courthouse.
Do you know about the British graffiti artist known as Wanksy?
No.
No.
Have you ever seen that mockumentary on Netflix about the guy who did all the dicks at school?
No. But really quick, before you go into that, Wanksy is a British graffiti artist that just draws like the most basic and ugly penises on publicly damaged property. So council and government has to replace the damaged property instead of just covering it up. So he'll find like a pothole, draw like a gnarly dick in it with like a fluorescent orange spray paint can. And, the council can't just paint over a pothole, so they have to fill it in. So
that's hilarious.
Hats off to Wanksy. I appreciate the warfare you wage, sir.
Yes. And collab with whatwouljesusdraw.com if you'd like. So American Vandal was the show on Netflix, and it's pretty hilarious. It came out in 2017.
Okay. All right, rock and roll.
But so now here we go.
Still too long.
Hi,
People
I'm the literal devil,
confused.
and I'm here to tell you that you need to listen to this podcast segment. Now, 48 Laws of Power.
Thank God.
Oh no, I wasn't ready for how fast this is.
Thank you, Randy.
Right. You're welcome. I listen. All right, Cody. There's a place where it says Cody Reed.
There's 14 places that say Cody.
Cody Reed. Hold on. Law 1, never outrun the master. Law 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's this?
Friends learn how to use enemies. Law 3, so you're intent. Law 4, always say less than necessary. Law 5, so defense and reputation guarded with your life. Law 6, what attention at all costs. Law 7, others do the work for you, but always take credit. Law 8, make other people you use the
You could probably go a little faster.
Well, the music, I sped it up too.
Yeah. This is still too long. This is the worst idea we've ever had, but thank you for trying.
It's just noise now.
We could probably do a record scratch. and skip most of the middle.
Interaction with both law 29.
I like that we.
Cody, what is law number 30?
Law 30, make your accomplishments seem effortless. Your actions must seem natural and executed with ease. The toil and practice that go into them, and also the clever tricks, must be concealed. When you act effortlessly, as if you do much more.
Oh, man.
When you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. Whatever that means. Avoid the temptation of revealing how hard you work. It only raises questions. Teach no one your tricks, or they will be used against you. Society collapses if we don't teach the replacement and upcoming generations our tricks.
Well, that's why we have such bad leaders now, because the good ones didn't teach them their shit. But what that means, when you act effortlessly, as if you could do much more. So think about this. Think about it like this, Cody. If you run a mile, act like you can run 2 more. Right, so don't let them know you sweat.
But what if they ask you to? What if they're just like, oh, it looks like you can run another mile.
But yeah, hell yeah, I could.
And
then you do it.
Just what? Then you do it.
Oh, I mean, if you're good, I mean, you shouldn't do that shit. The art of war. My enemy's not expecting my counterattack. I don't know actually, Cody. But what I'm saying is, you want to make it seem easy, because when they look at you and you're like, oh my god, this guy's got it figured out. I got a long way to go to get there.
I feel like this is like the classic textbook example of how human beings overextend themselves.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
I'm not down with this one. 30's a swing and a miss for old Cody.
Yeah. They just want to make it seem like everything comes easy to you, right? And that just throws people off. Like, my God, I got to work so much harder than this guy. But they don't know. What they don't know
that's the thing.
is how hard
Sometimes
you
when
work.
your boss sees you like, oh, this guy is working, and he seems like he can handle more. Do you know what happens then, Rem?
You get more.
Understood. Good work is rewarded.
This is
with
saying
more work.
accomplishments, though. So, like, I'm thinking like awards and such. You know, like big things, like not just like a little project, but probably
whatever you get the award for. If you're like, oh, that was easy, the entire board of directors or shareholders are going to be like, well, we're going to need that for the next 17 quarters.
Yeah,
that's why you make the big bucks, Cody. That's why you make the big bucks.
Cody, you ready to read this copy? A new segment.
What? New stuff Randy didn't give us a heads up for. No. There's 4 places that say Cody read this.
No, it literally says Cody read this copy.
I think you would be the narrator.
It's our new segment.
You want me to do it?
So Cody read this copy. The first line is not copy to be read. Background. Yeah. I'll read it anyway. Background jingle starts playing. Narrator. Again, something, the copy that shouldn't be read. What is this?
The interns put it together.
But there's so much copy. The first 5 words aren't copy to be read. And it says, Cody, read this copy.
I love when Cody
Hey there, Rich Dickman Show listeners. Are you tired of being all stuffed up? Does the constant sniffle you have feel like a human snot factory? Well, fear not. Because we have the ultimate solution for you, the Neti Pot. Sound effect, nasal congestion. I guess that was the copy I was supposed to read. No, that was copy for me to read, Randy. Oh. You're mistaken. According to this document, that was copy for me to read, not a sound effect.
You're going to make this really hard to just cut this out. And
Narrator, introducing the Neti Pot, a miraculous nasal irrigation device that'll have you breathing easy and laughing harder. With the Neti Pot, you'll finally be able to appreciate the sweet sounds of the Rich Dickman Show and other snot-free glory. Effect, pouring water.
I hit the button.
Narrator, no, that's for me to read. You don't understand
I love the music
this document. Narrator, our patented design allows you to pour warm, soothing saline solution.
I thought you said cut the music.
And at the this is great. This is a great
I love
spot.
the music.
Washing away all those pesky boogers and leaving you with the clearest nasal passages since the day you were born. When you were born, your nasal passages are intentionally mucus plugged so you don't drown in your mother's womb. Your nasal passages are very, very blocked up. Like there's actually devices doctors need to use
Go to the interns
pull snot out of baby noses. It's a miniature day spa for your nose. Sound effect, sigh of relief. Narrator. But wait, there's more. Act now. And we'll throw in a complimentary copy of the Neti Pot Unplugged, an exclusive album featuring your favorite Rich Dickman Show moments, all centered around the magic of the Neti Pot TM. Sound effect, record scratching. Narrator with the Neti Pot, you'll be able to envy. You'll be the envy of every congested listener, able to chuckle along with hilarious antics of the show without the annoyance of your own nasal symphony. Background jingle comes to crescendo.
It would have if I didn't stop it.
How could you have timed this to? How could you have timed the music to my reading this? Are you some kind of fucking like wizard that can see into the future?
Do you know
Yes,
the tools
Cody.
he's using?
How would you have done this?
You know how many interns we have? 31.
No.
At my
How would
disposal.
you have gotten the music to crescendo on cue to the beat, and at the same time while I'm reading that?
I have a way.
Okay, I'm just curious. That's why I'm asking the question.
But then I stopped it
Narrator.
because I misheard Rim.
Narrator. So what are you waiting for? Order your Neti Pot
there's
today
more.
and get ready to laugh your way to clear booger-free bliss. Visit netipotforthewin.com and use promo code Rich_Dickman for 10% off your purchase. Remember, your nose deserves to laugh too. Background jingle fades out.
Thanks, Randy.
All right.
Appreciate you.
So do we know what copy to be read means? Because I think we've demonstrated we don't. Like, at all.
Well, you know what we do have?
Cody, are you drinking
Nope.
tonight?
Me? No. I'm just
Spicy.
You should be. You should be.
We got more segments, Cody.
Oh, fuck.
AI.
Oh, Cody likes this one.
Context.
Yeah, I can smoke during this one.
Hey, welcome back. Glad you could join me today. Today I thought we'd do a fantastic
Mike came after the guest left.
in the woods and it's very dark and misty. And
Randy's got
during. I saw him.
meds. What?
He came during. I saw him.
Nope.
Brett.
It's a little low, Randy.
I know. I had to turn it down because of the music.
That's better.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Yeah. Me too.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
AI. Without context.
All right, what do we got tonight, Randy? We're going back in time, aren't we?
We got 179.
Episode
Are you ready?
179. It's Cody, Randy, and Rim. I don't know what
I
else
took your
happened.
feedback.
Good.
Isn't it like horrifying when Randy says, "I took your feedback," and then something out of left field
He
just
likes
approaches
keyholes or something
you.
like that. You like watching with the eyes. Your ambi-sex dress. You like trench coats, huh? Everybody take a look. I went to a nudist colony once, and I was in an inflatable boat with my girlfriend at the time. Bernie Sanders was there. I'm happily married. You may be compatible with non-monogamous lifestyle as well. Did I say that now? Oh, that was weird. Yeah, you seem very rigid. You're a man of the world. You like to show off yourself and your parts. You see by vanilla status.
What happened
Look
in
at
this
me.
episode?
Yeah, look at me. Cars nowadays, you sneeze on them weird. They're crumple zones. Just go off. Put a racing stripe on it. Yes, it looks like it goes faster. If all your friends are going to jump off a bridge, you can do it too, right? But look cooler. I hate that. And you buy their first car that way. Wait, I gotta decipher that fucking sentence. I almost did. But don't buy anything new. Sometimes families be warned, and it's a life or death situation.
I
I
gotta
say
find
you keep on to
179.
it in case you ever need it for family leverage. It could be. She says no one knows but me. Oh, I was wondering where you went, but I was like, what? What's your favorite kind of hi? Not yet. I read
Hi
someone.
again.
Wow. Right, like, oh, hey, it's on the list. I think the whole sex industry is ran by white court vampires. You know, those little things you put on your penis so you can't get hard. You know, the compactor. Everybody should own a cat. I read this week because it is a lesson in consent. What do you think about furries? You know, here I was a piece of shit. Furries are awesome. That couldn't figure out why a bunch of 20-year-olds are dressed up as My Little Ponies, males and females. Your kink is not my kink, but your kink is okay, right? Do I have to work on my kink making me codependent no more? Yes. Oh, damn it.
So do you know who the voice is?
No.
Ah, okay. Maybe the second one will help from last week. You ready?
From last week? No.
I thought you were great, good job, because for some reason shower bottle is, well, guys, soft-ass shower bottles. Oh, my God, it's such a yes. Is it did? Oh, good, yeah, I'm looking at a bidet mate. It's $400, but man, it has all the bells and whistles.
Cut it.
Yeah, it's literally just a splinter.
Because I told you, don't do recent ones. That doesn't work.
Why?
Because the shit that happened in 179 is funny now because nobody remembers who said it.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have context for the things that are recent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the AI out of
So it
context.
can't be
Remember
out
that?
of- yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't take my feedback. You fucking. Who's the voice?
Oh, Peter Griffin. Well, it's Seth MacFarlane giving a commencement speech as Peter Griffin.
Okay.
That might have been a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like that you tried. You got to cut it down a little bit, like about a minute.
It's so hard to cut it down. There's so many good quotes.
Well, ask Cody to help. Then he'll
You
give you.
need to cut things down. Like Randy, how long do you think the average person's attention span? Oh, let me rephrase that. How long do you think the average podcast listener's attention span is?
Yes, those of us who listen to the end of podcasts are the rare exception.
Oh.
You need to
We have another commercial.
You got to hit 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, but it's got to be a back-to-back 6 or 7 minutes with maybe one break. That's how you got to do these.
We have one more commercial because they loved it so much.
Read more?
And they wanted it right. No. This one's already done for you. They loved it so much last week. They wanted me to spice it up a bit.
What does Randy think spicing up means? Here we go. Introducing the fantabulous Bootylicious Bidet Mate, your new BFF in the bathroom. Sick of wiping like a caveman? Well, say hello to the future of fanny freshness. Our bidet mate is revolutionary, ass-blasting device that'll leave you feeling squeaky clean and singing its praises.
Your mix is off.
With its pinpoint accuracy,
Music needs
it'll
to go
hit the
down.
bullseye.
Or
Dio needs to go up.
I had it leveled by the interns.
Worried
Fucking
about
interns.
the water temperature? Don't stress. The
can't-
bidet mate has customizable settings to make your tushy toasty.
You got to start it low.
But wait, there's more. The bidet is not only eco-friendly, but also doubles as a butthole whisperer.
Butthole
Think all those
whisperer.
Stubborn skid marks a thing of the past. Say goodbye to the age-old question: why
Cody,
is this toilet? What?
Randy got new meds.
Because with the bidet,
They start tomorrow.
you save trees.
I haven't
and
started those yet, so calm the fuck down. Don't blame that.
I thought you were talking about new meds.
What are you waiting for? Join
Tomorrow.
the Bidet Brigade.
I literally
Order
started
your
tomorrow.
Bidet
Those
Mate.
And I told you that I had
contaminated
confidence.
soil.
He's
Anyway.
saying rainbows. The other thing was in confidence.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just like to yell at you.
And say in
that I told you that in confidence.
Yeah.
All right.
You love art.
All right, we're getting to the end of the show here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the best part. I'm really excited about this week.
You love Chat GPT.
No, don't be.
Oh
Why?
my God, I love
I'm gonna go in order. Oh, right, I gotta load the.
Way to defeat the entire.
I
Okay.
love
And you got to go with who won last week, and I think that was who won last week.
Have we got to say?
Yeah,
Did
I'm
I
trying
win?
to find the document. What would Jesus draw?
Coughed right into the microphone. Did you hear?
Oh,
it?
I don't remember what we picked. What was it?
Oh, it's Easter Bunny stuff. You
Okay,
picked
that's
it,
right. I
think.
won. Yeah, Jesus.
So, yeah. So let's see here.
You got to do mine first.
So first off, Rim, Jesus the Easter Bunny was the theme. Rim, yours is kind of long, so I'll read it real quick. Depicting an amusing scene where Jesus Christ, dressed as the Easter Bunny, works in a bustling mall, handing
That's
out
it.
gifts to excited children. Capture the playful atmosphere with Jesus expertly balancing his divine demeanor and the endearing role of the
No,
Easter
you read
Bunny.
it last week.
Oh, okay. You told me to.
Pictures are worth 1,000 words you're trying to read.
Okay.
right
Yeah,
now.
you don't need to do all 70,000 fucking words of the book. Okay, just read the first sentence.
There we go. Picture.
What the fuck? It looks like a Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I was gonna say this looks like a '90s. Like
That's what I thought
comedy.
Jesus would look like in a mall as an Easter Bunny.
As an Easter Bunny.
I I worked like so. Just to put it into perspective, this week I literally spent 7.5 fast hours trying to get the prompts together.
Wow. Okay, so
out of my 15 that I get a month.
The picture focuses on a gentleman who is wearing a white Easter bunny costume with pink ears, right? And he's got a like a 5 o'clock shadow beard type of thing, but it's got blonde hair.
Yeah,
I don't see Jesus.
What kind of celebrity would you?
I thought it was
this
Jesus
guy
Willy
for?
Wonka. That's why I went with it.
Dom Hall Gleason. No, the Gleason kid from not Jack Gleason. The one who drowned and lost. The Australian guy, Dominic Monaghan.
Yeah, he's the guy from Lord of the Rings, right?
And there's some AI kids around and a Christmas tree, but that has Easter eggs, colorful Easter eggs on it.
I love how Randy's like, I slaved over this. There's a Christmas tree in the back.
But it looks like a picture that would have been taken in the early 90s at a mall.
Have you not been in a mall where they take a picture with the Easter bunny?
Yeah.
They
in
totally
front of a
have
Christmas tree.
Yeah, with Easter eggs on it, Cody.
Okay, I'm going to forego my re-roll this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I thought
you know
for
what?
sure you'd re-roll.
I don't know that we have.
You just said it took
ideas.
17 hours to get this.
And this is the best we can do. So I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know what you guys might have total shit. So
okay,
we'll see. All right,
it looks very
Cody.
photorealistic.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ in a reverse bunny suit was sultry and sumptuous, which I couldn't use sultry. Bunny ears offering Cadbury eggs to camera Kauai.
You couldn't use sultry.
Yep, he yelled at me.
That's a fun word.
Here we go.
Why is that not a bad word? Okay, it looks like Jesus.
Yeah, I like this.
And
Not
I like
a reverse bunny suit. But
no,
sure.
not at all. But I like this a lot because here we have Jesus centered in the picture. Okay, and he's got a purple shiny robe. There's Easter colors, like the Lenten purple and pink colors all around.
It's the Cadbury egg colors. He's in the Cadbury egg purple robe.
Yeah, yes. He's got the long Jesus locks, and he's got a bunny hat on with the pink ears. Yeah.
Rem, do me a solid favor and count them fingers for me real quick.
1, 2, 3,
Look
4, 5, 1, 2. Yeah, he's got the perfect amount of fingers.
Look at that.
They're
Aren't
a little
you proud?
misshapen. I am. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the right number, though. It's the
and he's
right
got
number.
representations of Cadbury eggs that he's holding. He's got a pile in his hand. He's like,
Yeah,
yo, me worry.
this is fun.
I like
this.
this.
Great.
Yep.
If you saw this on the street, if this gentleman was just like, would you like a Cadbury egg? Would you trust him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Let him suck my dick too.
The one thing I don't like is the bunny ears are a little cut off by the framing, but we all know what they are, so I'll give it a half a pass.
It's missing the reverse bunny suit. I thought that would be a big part of this, but we'll see. We'll see what Randy has, but so
Yeah,
this
I
is
don't
better
thi-
than shit
yeah.
I got. So
All right.
right.
Randy, my prompt was Jesus Christ in an Easter bunny costume pardoning infant children at the altar of our Lord after a group festival.
I love that these are 16:9, by the way, Randy.
Yes.
Very
thank you.
immersive.
And boom.
Look at that. Another 16:9.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Wow. Okay. All right. First things first, before I just start describing this, the person on the right, look at the hands. Those are like
That's wrong on
rheumatoid
the
arthritis
right.
hands.
Nope.
Those are terrible. Okay, so here we've got
people have that.
we've got Jesus in the center.
Jesus
We've
has
got
a wedding ring. Just want to point
Jesus'
that out.
wedding ring. Holy shit! There's what I think
Mary
is
Magdalene.
a woman. Mary,
I told you
possibly
he titty fucked her.
next to him. All right, with the messed
You
up
think
hands.
that bears? Do you think titty fucking rears children? Stop the podcast, Randy.
No.
do you think titty
Mary
fucking
Magdalene.
rears children?
Mary Magdalene. He titty fucked.
I know Mary Magdalene, but do you think titty fucking rears children? Is the question I just asked you before we can finish this part.
Or that fucked up. No, I meant like with my ex, with raising my daughter.
Okay.
That just doesn't sound good.
To Jesus's right, there's a baby, probably maybe 2 years old. There's a child with extra feet, who's maybe 6 or 7. But if you look down at the feet of that child, there's too many, and maybe a little girl, maybe like 4 or 5. And then in front of Jesus, the pièce de résistance is the giant rabbit that's staring evilly and menacingly at the camera.
It's when you say giant for a bunny, it is huge, but like the extremely off-settling thing to me is like this rabbit is, let's say, Doberman size, which is just, there's just something very horrifying about seeing a white bunny with red eyes.
Jesus is
not
looking at it
necessarily
like,
giant
why'd you
in
shit on my
comparison
toe?
to a human, but it's fucking Doberman size. Yeah, and I think if
Look
we
at
can see
Jesus'
Bunny
face.
Wiener.
That bunny took a shit or a piss on him, and he's like, "What?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?"
Yeah, I could not get him in an Easter bunny costume for this and make it look like, and there's no altar.
But another shiny robe thing. It's
Yeah.
it's like a brownish. Yeah. So all right, hey,
And our first toes, I think.
yeah, first toes. But look, yeah, the toes are the extra foot is killing me over on that kid. It's like,
The fucking wedding ring on Jesus is slaying me. It's gonna mess with my sleep cycle or something.
yeah. All right. Going. What was your pardoning children?
Well, it was supposed to be sacrificing, but I did
okay.
pardoning instead. Because that's what the pagans used to do. They used to have orgies at Easter, and then they would sacrifice the kids during Jesus' birthday, the winter solstice.
Yep. This is a tough one, Randy. Cody, what are you thinking? And it's okay to pick your own, because I'm leaning towards yours, but like Randy's is creepy. That's why I don't want to pick Randy's. It's creepy.
I don't want to pick yours.
It wasn't my originally intended message, but it does feel like mine has the most cohesive symbol.
The Cadbury egg thing.
Yeah.
Yours I didn't really work that hard on. It was like the third one I did.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it's out of a movie. The first one seems like
it's a scene from a movie.
There's something about the framing. It's an over-the-shoulder shot of a movie.
Yeah.
And it seems too divorced from reality, and I don't necessarily like it. And people are wearing makeup like they did in the 90s sitcoms.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy how it looks like it's from that time period. Randy, what are you thinking? Cody's or yours or mine?
I want mine.
To me, with my money, it's Cody.
It's Cody. All
I
right. Cody.
win, yes.
Cody wins this week. Yep, that's a good one, Cody. It's a beautiful. I'm gonna sell that shit on
Yet
Amazon.
again, I manipulate Jesus for victory.
All right, so you get to pick. You get a re-roll to use at your leisure next week, and you get to pick our
I'm
theme.
totally caught with my pants down.
Stand up.
I'd say Rem came in second there, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think you came in second, dude.
Oh, really?
It's a very close tie because they're very they're very amiss. There's no one solid thing happening in either of these.
Yeah,
it's weird. I don't know. I need to come up with a prompt.
Oh,
all right.
You always got to be ready, Cody.
Yeah, I could always beat the interns here real quick. Let's see. I think some of them still awake.
For what?
AI prompts.
Oh. I was thinking of one today too, and I put it in my back pocket because I figured I wasn't going to win. You got one? What do you got?
Yeah, same. I couldn't remember it. I can't remember it though.
I remember mine. Just because I'm very slightly curious about it. There's the fancy new Super Mario movie coming up, and my challenge to the table is supplant Mr. Jesus into a Mario scene of your choice. Any Mario in the I was going to say galaxy Mario universe. Go ahead.
That may have been my idea in the shower a few days ago.
Oh, good. Go ahead. It's your idea. No, it's
it.
fine. You can have you.
No. I'm not taking credit for it.
No. It's yours. Take the credit.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all, Cody. I was thinking the same thing in the shower the other night. I think that would be a good prompt. It's probably what I come up with this week. So thank you. That's awesome.
Well, if great minds think alike, you know what I'm thinking about in the shower, and I hate that. What are we doing here? I want Jesus spiking an egg in Birdo's face. But the thing we have to say Birdo of Nintendo's Birdo character in the face. There you go.
Okay, so you're going Super Mario 2.
That would be Super Mario 2 would be Birdo's first, yeah.
Yep, okay. All right.
Birdo is a guy, confirmed by the literature.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to go
boyfriend.
with Jesus.
Cool.
I don't know what the wording is here, you guys. So you're probably going to use your interns to help you with the wording, Randy. But these are the themes here: Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ in the giant cat costume in Super Mario 3D World?
Okay. Well, the way I would, because it was mentioned in the recent trailers, it was called the cat suit.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but our intern's knowledge stops at 2021.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's why it could be funny. But it's Rem's call.
Yeah. And also add into that Jesus Christ in a giant cat suit from Super Mario World in the game. How do you word that? In level 1-1 of Super Mario World.
First level.
In the first level, okay. Starting the first level of the game. Okay. What's that noise?
Yeah,
that's me typing.
Noise.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
All
okay,
right.
so Randy.
There's some noise coming
something,
through
right?
Some pipes. Yeah.
Okay. What's Randy got?
Randy's got Jesus Christ jumping into a painting in Super Mario Brothers 64.
If your cell phones or your mics or your mixers, get them away from it. That might be what that sound is.
No, my cell phone hasn't done anything. But
I've heard that sound editing. It is a phone fucking with your speakers.
God damn it, Kristen. Get your shit away from Randy's stuff.
Okay, I unplugged my phone from the board just to be safe.
Nah, it's still going.
Huh, weird, man.
The people at home will probably hear nothing because of the post-production on this, and they're like, what are they talking about?
Post-production?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so...
There's some fucking quality control here.
Yeah, a little bit. Cody, congratulations on your big win. All right, I look forward to our entries next week. All right,
what did Randy
Super Mario.
say? I totally missed his. What did,
jumping
Jesus
into
Christ
a painting.
jumping into a painting in Super Mario Brothers 64.
Yeah,
Any
Bowser's
particular
Castle.
painting, though? Is it Bowser's Castle painting? You got to pick.
Yeah,
There's
I like
so many,
that.
they're all classic. I need you to at least, like...
Go to
I like Bowser's
whatwouldjesusdraw.com.
I like the
Ice.
wet, dry world painting. Because it
All right,
actually
Rim.
matters how high you jump into that painting.
Is that it,
Yeah,
Randy?
it does. Well, yeah, and then last surprise.
Thank you so much for listening to the Rich Dickman Show. Your ears mean more to us than you know. If you like what we do and want to support the show, can tell a friend.
Oh, is it so
to leave a
nasally?
review. And if you like
Yeah.
us even more than that, then why not check out our Patreon at patreon.com/richdickman. You get extra content.
Cody, this is what you wanted.
Bonus clips, bonus shows, and even your
Yeah,
very own
don't
custom
take it
studio.
vocal cords.
This week, be sure to check out Liquor Fueled 4. You can find us online at
we can-
richdickman.com for
we
all
can
your
forget
Rich
to end the
Dickman
show.
needs.
We can just
Click
plug
that
this
merch
in.
tab and get yourself some swag.
Huh?
Check us out on YouTube.
We can forget to end the show one night, right? And like, oh shit, we didn't do the outro, and then boom, we got this.
Follow us at Rich Dickman Show, at Rem Dickman, at Cody McCann, executive producer Randy at Sir Zero with an E, at Ryan Tardies, at Rem_Mama, and finally
Little
call
dated.
the Dickman line
A little out of date.
860-316-4776.
Well, I can't afford to do the VO again. I'm out of credits.
Okay. No, you don't have to. It's fine.
No, you just.
All right.
I think you
That's
can
the
fix
end of the
that
show
with
now.
editing.
So now you got to say bye and stuff.
See ya.
That's the end of the show. That's weird. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
weird,
this is-
Cody. I don't like it.
Oh, and you're going to want to come to the
now.
Discord to get all the content the patrons pay for, but for free at bit.do/TRDS1. And the voicemail, call us 860-316-4777.
That was a monkey's paw moment where we got what we wished for, and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, we're not going to do that again. I don't think. We'll just save that for an emergency. But I had fun tonight, you guys. I had fun with you guys hanging out, talking to a real, actual comedian, Adam Levine. All right, Instagram Adam Nate Levine. Check it out.
He's got a license to tell jokes and everything.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed our company. So thank you, Adam. Kristen, if you're listening to this, reach out and make sure he's okay.
Oh, she's not in there anymore.
Yeah, make sure he
make sure
hung
to
up.
the
Say
bed.
he hung up.
Make sure you
safely.
tell her. Yeah. Check out whatwouldjesusdraw.com. All right. Check out these amazing, beautiful works of art that we're creating.
this was a close one, at least with the Rem and Randy. So come on down and see why we couldn't pick a decisive runner up on this one.
And tell your friends to check it out. You know, like I explained to my dad when he said this was like sacrilegious and bad, and he wouldn't even look at these works of art. And I
You said, "Fuck you, Dad."
I said, "Fuck you, Dad." Jesus would love to share his his image and
then
his
you
message
punched a hole into the
with
drywall.
everybody. And I threw him out the fucking. I picked his ass up with one hand.
See, Adam
out the
noticed
window.
Rem's background. He
Yeah.
already knows. Yeah, Adam has an eye for creativity and fun.
That's right.
So
Love
calm
to
down.
throw my dad around. His fucking ass is in Italy.
Watch us manipulate Jesus for victory.
We love Jesus. That's right. Jesus AIR. Whatwouljesusdraw.com. Cody, where do they find you, buddy?
You can find me on the Twitter at Cody McCann, CODYMCCA.
That's right. I am at Rem Dickman. You got the show at Rich Dickman Show. All right. Patreon.com/Rich Dickman. RichDickman.com. Randy, where do they find you, my friend?
Oh, at SirZero with an E on Twitter or SirZero with an E at gmail.com. And soon we're going to buy in the footsteps of Muhammad.com. And really take it to the next level.
Good night, everybody.
No, what?
Oh, that's the first pitch for our Muhammad AI art. Somebody challenged me that since we're doing Jesus, we should also do Muhammad.
So you just not it, Ants. You're not going to question that. And just full speed ahead.
I mean,
on
it
that
seems
one.
fair.
I wonder if it would do it. Because
That's the
ChatGPT
first pass at the name in the footsteps of Muhammad.com.
Yeah. ChatGPT wouldn't write, certain things about, good things about Trump or whatever that they found. So I'm sure it probably won't let you do anything bad with Muhammad.
You realize depicting Muhammad is bad, and even.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's
I think
haram
stupid.
to even,
Okay. I don't know
have
what that word
game
means.
go. Okay.
All right, let's stop our tracks.
Thanks, Randy.
Are we good? Stopping?
You're a dick, Randy.
My fucking mouse is on the other side of the room.